Byrne, Byrne, he apparently didn't like doing Alpha Strike. And I think that may be manifested in him trying to make the covers look as boring and unexciting as possible. This looks like a tawdry French soap opera. Like it had to be intentional. He doesn't have Nemesis on this cover, and Nemesis is exciting. Nice splash page of Northman there. This is issue 8, the second part of the Nemesis story. Northman, he went to visit his ex-boyfriend, but his ex-boyfriend got killed by Ernest. Ernest is a local mobster with a deft touch, and he has also abducted Northman's sister, thinking that she was the ex-boyfriend's daughter. Here is all that backstory I just explained. This redhead, this is the ex-boyfriend's actual daughter, and she will factor into the plot. So Northman, he goes to Ernest's 5-bedroom bastard house, and we have the debut of Nemesis. She is a Canadian vigilante with a sword and a brilliant design. Her secret identity is part of this story. We are initially led to believe that she is that redhead daughter, but in the style of Steve Ditman's preferred idea for Green Gobbler, the intention is that actually Nemesis is nobody. But with Nemesis, then it got screwed up by the next writer, Bill Bungalow, who said she was actually just Ernest's daughter, who isn't even mentioned in this story. It's never hinted at that he has a family or a daughter, and then she was killed off. It's okay, because then Nemesis, she came back a few runs later, and I liked that apparent resurrection. It returned an element of the mysterious aura, and it cast doubts on whether Nemesis was really Ernest's daughter. But then eventually it becomes obvious by the 2004 Alpha Strike series that we have been seeing 3 or 4 different persons be Nemesis, and the original was just the cop-out reveal from Bill Bungalow's story. Northman, he is shocked to see his sister, Aurora Borealis, apparently romancing with Ernest, and they hit him over the head and put him to bed, where he is approached by Nemesis, who has come seeking vengeance against Ernest. Nemesis, she has a sword that is as thick as an atom's width, which is great, since diversity in a comic book can rip this idea off for one of his unexciting crowd-funded Soldier Boy characters. We also get Ernest's backstory. You know, Ernest guns to camp, Ernest guns to jail, stuff like that. Well, in Ernest Guns to War, a direct-to-video film, which is also called Ernest in the Army, well, in that, Ernest, he almost died, but he rejected Lady Death, and he was forever cursed with a death touch. And to bolster my belief that Jason Byrne is trying to sabotage his own comic, we didn't show what we are told is a very violent action sequence where Nemesis killed a bunch of Ernest's minions. They just walk into the room and mention that this happened. And it is here where Northman starts to believe that Nemesis must be his ex's daughter, and that Nemesis wants revenge for Ernest killing her dad. So Nemesis, she fights Ernest, and Northman and Aurora Borealis really just sit in the background. And here, Nemesis kills Ernest. She slices him up with her sword. Even though he's meant to be dead after this, he will get better. Northman, he tries to calm Nemesis down in his belief that he knows who she is. And he takes off her mask and is shocked that his assumption is totally wrong. And she is someone who he has never seen before. And that is pretty much the end of the story. Very short. And I do feel that Northman and Aurora Borealis kind of get little to do this issue. Northman, he never got to avenge his hard boyfriend's death even. The shortened story is because we have a backup story again. But there is one last story beat here where we find out that the daughter, who isn't Nemesis, she was actually working for Ernest, and she was betraying her dad to him. And we end with the brother and sister falling out because Northman thought that Aurora Borealis had slept with Ernest to get in his good graces. Backup story, and it is some more originy stuff for Alpha Strike and its characters, and it is some more of the boring ones, sadly. Even though I pointed out some gripes with it and the story being a bit underwhelming from a character standpoint, I still like it. I think Nemesis is a great character and idea, fantastic design, and this serves as a good introduction to her. We have some lovely teasing of Northman being gay, and I do like the Steve Ditman Green Gobbler style mystery identity thing. Anyone want us to look at more Alpha Strike? I want to look at more Alpha Strike, but if you didn't want us to, I won't. I'm not going to review Alpha Strike 113 and blabber on about how much I like Windshield for no one to even watch it. I rate this 7 thumbs up.